Good afternoon, math students. Today we're going to learn how to figure out how much federal tax you owe based on your taxable earnings or taxable income. In this problem, the taxable income, and sometimes I say taxable income, sometimes I say taxable earnings, the same thing, but your taxable income here is $92,000. That just means that you're responsible for paying taxes on this amount. You might have made more money than that and probably did. So we're going to use this table here to calculate the taxes. And if you notice on the top it says Schedule X single. So we're going to assume this person is happily single. But if you were married, there'd be another schedule. It's called Schedule Y1. And the numbers would be different in the table, but the process would be the same. So let's just jump into this problem. Now I'm going to show you the first thing I do. I like to check the headings of the tables. First of all, if you notice the headings, it says over, but not over. And then over here it says the tax is, and then of the amount over here. And I'll explain how those headings work as we work through the problem. So let's look at the $92,000. And I kind of say to myself, well, let's see, is $92,000 over $0, but not over $9,700? And I would say to myself, no, $92,000 is larger than $9,700. And I just kind of continue that process until I figure out which row $92,000 falls. So which row do you think it falls in? Hopefully you're thinking row 4, right here. Let's think about this. And I highlighted row 4. Let's look at this number. So $92,000 is over $84,200, but not over $160,725. Now another way to look at it is you can just say to yourself, $92,000 is somewhere between $84,200 and $160,725. So that's the row we identified. So I can get rid of all the other rows. I'm just going to focus on row 4. And now I'm going to need to look at how to calculate my taxes using this row. So it says the tax is from right here. It says the tax is, and then I go down to row 4, is this. And I'm also going to use this row here and this. So let me show you how to read that. Then we'll go through the calculations. So it says the tax is $14,382.50 plus 24% of the amount over $84,200. Now that might seem a little confusing, but I'll show you how to calculate it, and it's really not as bad as it sounds. So what I do now is I take my $92,000, or I'm sorry, not my $92,000, forget I just said that. I go right here to this row I highlighted, and I just use this row right here. So I'm going to take this $14,382.50, and I'll just write it down. So I just wrote this number down right here. Plus from right here, 24%, and hopefully you remember 24% is 0.24. Now, of the amount over, this of right here implies multiplication, this of. So I'm going to put a set of parentheses next, and this will be the same process every time. And I'm trying to figure out how much $92,000 is over $84,200. So I'll subtract. So once I put those set of parentheses, I put this number right here. I always put my taxable earnings right here, which is $92,000. And I subtract this amount, $84,200. And that's how you write it. Should put in my commas here. So again, let me just reiterate how I got this expression in yellow. I just took this number, $14,382.50, I put it here, plus 0.24 times the taxable income, $92,000 minus this amount. And that's the process every time. And then you just punch this in to your calculator and you're pretty much done. So I have a fancy calculator here I'll bring up. And I'm just going to punch this number in, this expression in. So it's 14,38250. Well, I'm not sure what I'm punching in there. Let me try that again. 14,382.50 plus 0.24 parentheses, which implies times here, 92,123 minus 84,200. Let's close that parenthesis, and that's my tax. So 16254.5. 16254.5. I'm going to put a 0 at the end of the 5 because that's really 50 cents, and that's how much tax I owe. So if my taxable earnings or income is $92,000, I owe at the end of the year $16,254.50. Now, this part here, if you have a fancy calculator like I do, make sure you use the parentheses. If you have a more simple calculator, you'll need to do it slightly different. You'll need to use the order of operations. You'll have to do what's inside the parentheses first, so you'll do the subtraction first, then the multiplication, and then you'll have to do the addition to get this number correct. But that's pretty much all there is to it. Let's look at another situation where the taxable income changed. So let's say you made, let me clear this out first. Let's say your new taxable income, you got a new job and you're doing just awesome. Or this is actually maybe for another person. Let's say another person, they're very happily single as well, and their taxable income or taxable earnings was $926,000. How much tax does this person owe? Federal tax. Why don't you pause the video and give this a shot? Welcome back. Well, remember the first step is to identify which row this falls in, and hopefully you identified row 7 right here. Right? And that means you don't need to use any of the other rows. So I picked that row because $926,000 is over $510,300 and it's greater as well. So it's got to be row 7. And then I just look at this part of the tax table to calculate my taxes, and we'll just go ahead and do that. So I want to take this 153,798.50 from right here plus 0.37. Then I'll put my set of parentheses like so. I'll put this number here, $926,000 minus this number here, 510,300, 510,300. And that's it. And then you just punch that into the calculator. And these get simpler as you do them, as you practice. Let me bring up my calculator and punch these numbers in and see how much tax I owe. So it's 153,798.50 $798.50 plus 0.37 times 926,000 minus 510,300. 510,300. I'll close that off. And it's 307,607.50. 307,607.50. So in other words, if you made $926,000, or not made, but if that's how much you're responsible for paying taxes on, you owe the federal government at the end of the year $307,607. Wait, $307,607.50. And that seems like a lot, but you made a lot. So as you make more money, the amount of tax that you owe is going to increase. So I hope you feel more comfortable with this Schedule X tax table. And if there's other tax tables there, the process is similar. One other thing I just want to say is sometimes your taxable earnings fall on the intervals. Let's say your taxable income was $39,475. This number shows up twice. So which row do you use, the second or the third? Well, I just remember that wherever I see it first, I see it in row 2 first. You use the second row. So if your taxable earnings was $39,475, you'd use row 2, not row 3. And it kind of makes sense because let's think about this. $39,475 is over $9,700, but it's not over itself. So if you run into a situation like that, just use the row that you see first, and then you won't make a mistake. So I just wanted to clarify that as well. Well, I hope you found this helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.